The Harper family home on Maple Lane had always been a place of tradition, but today it felt like a mausoleum. After Evelyn Harper's funeral, her children and grandchildren gathered in the parlor, the air thick with the scent of lilies and the weight of unspoken grievances. Richard, the eldest, stood by the window, his jaw clenched as he watched the rain streak down the glass. Linda, his sister, sat rigidly on the edge of the sofa, her hands twisting a faded handkerchief. The younger cousins, awkward in their black clothes, whispered in corners, casting nervous glances at the adults. When Mr. Grayson, the family lawyer, arrived, he carried not just the will but a small USB drive. "Your grandmother left a video message," he announced, his voice grave. The family exchanged wary glances, a ripple of unease passing through the room. As the TV flickered on and Evelyn's stern face appeared, her eyes sharp even in death, the room fell silent. "If you're watching this, I am gone," she began, her voice as commanding as ever. "But before you divide my estate, you must know the truth." Evelyn's image on the screen was both familiar and unsettling. Her voice, cold and unwavering, filled the room. "For decades I orchestrated chaos among you, not out of malice, but to punish one of you for a betrayal." The words landed like a stone in a pond, sending ripples of shock through the family. Richard's face darkened, Linda's eyes widened, and the cousins exchanged anxious looks. "I have hidden footage to show you," Evelyn continued, "and only after you've seen it all will I reveal who I sought to punish." The screen cut to black, then flickered to life with grainy home video. The family watched, transfixed and horrified, as the first secret was revealed. No one dared look away, each wondering if they would be the one exposed. The air grew heavier with every second, as if the house itself was holding its breath, waiting for the storm to break. The footage began on a stormy night in 1998. The camera, hidden in the kitchen, captured a younger Richard arguing with Evelyn. "You think I took it? I'd never steal from you," he shouted, his voice echoing off the tiled walls. Evelyn's voiceover cut in. "This was the beginning. Someone stole from me, and I vowed to find out who." The camera lingered on Richard's clenched fists and Evelyn's icy stare. The family watched, breathless, as Richard stormed out, slamming the door so hard the china rattled. Was he the betrayer, or just another pawn in Evelyn's game? The tension in the room grew, each family member silently reviewing their own past with Evelyn. The footage ended, but the questions it raised lingered, casting a shadow over the room. The family braced themselves for what would come next, knowing that no one was safe from Evelyn's scrutiny. The next clip was from a hidden camera in Evelyn's study. Linda, her face pale in the moonlight, crept in and rifled through drawers, finally slipping something into her purse. Evelyn's voice was relentless. "Trust is a fragile thing. I watched as suspicion grew, and I fed it." Linda's cheeks burned as the family stared. "It was just a letter," she whispered, but no one seemed convinced. The footage made it clear. Evelyn had set traps, and they'd all fallen in. The family's nerves frayed as they realized Evelyn's web had ensnared them all, and the true target was still unknown. The cousins, who had always seen their elders as pillars of strength, now saw them as flawed and vulnerable. The room felt colder, the walls closing in as the family realized that Evelyn's war had touched every one of them, whether they knew it or not. Clip after clip played, whispered arguments, missing heirlooms, secret phone calls. Even the younger cousins weren't spared. One was caught sneaking out, another pocketing cash from Evelyn's purse. "You all gave me reasons to doubt you," Evelyn's voice echoed, her disappointment palpable. The family's unity crumbled as old wounds reopened. Richard accused Linda, Linda snapped at David, and the cousins eyed each other with suspicion. Evelyn's game had worked, mistrust blossomed, and no one felt safe. Yet, beneath the anger, a deeper fear took root. What if the real betrayer was someone they loved most? The room buzzed with whispered accusations and nervous glances, each family member wondering if their own secrets would be next. The sense of betrayal was no longer just about Evelyn. It was about each other. Mr. Grayson paused the video, giving the family a moment to breathe. The room buzzed with accusations and denials. Even the usually quiet David looked shaken, his hands trembling as he tried to steady his voice. "There's more," the lawyer warned, and pressed play. Evelyn's tone softened. "I did not do this out of hatred," she said, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I wanted you to see yourselves as I saw you." The family fell silent, the weight of her words settling over them. For the first time, they wondered if Evelyn's war had been about more than punishment. Perhaps it was a desperate plea for understanding, or even forgiveness. The cousins, who had always felt like bystanders, now realized they were part of the story too. The family's anger softened, replaced by a deep, aching sadness and a longing for answers. The next video was different. Evelyn, older and frailer, sat alone, speaking directly to the camera. "I lost sight of love in my quest for justice," she confessed, her voice trembling. "The betrayal happened long ago, but it haunted me every day." She described her loneliness, her growing mistrust, and the pain of watching her family fracture. Tears welled in Linda's eyes, and Richard looked away, ashamed. For the first time, they saw Evelyn not as a manipulator, but as a woman wounded by loss. The family's anger softened, replaced by a deep, aching sadness. The cousins, who had always seen their grandmother as unbreakable, now saw her vulnerability. The room was silent, each person lost in their own thoughts, wondering how things might have been different if Evelyn had chosen forgiveness instead of suspicion. Finally, Evelyn named the betrayer, her youngest son, David. The footage showed a teenage David, nervous and desperate, stealing jewelry from Evelyn's box, then lying to her face. "I punished you all for one person's mistake," Evelyn's voice broke. David, now a grown man, stood up, his face pale. "I was young. I was stupid. I'm so sorry," he choked out, tears streaming down his cheeks. The family was stunned. David had always been the gentle one, the peacemaker. Evelyn's final words echoed, "I am sorry for the pain I caused. I hope you can forgive me and each other." The room was heavy with shock and sorrow, but also with a strange sense of relief. The truth, at last, was out. The video ended, leaving the family in stunned silence. David's confession hung in the air, raw and real. Richard crossed the room and hugged his brother, breaking years of distance. Linda wiped her eyes, her anger dissolving into relief. The cousins, once divided, sat together, talking quietly. The truth, though painful, was a strange kind of freedom. For the first time in years, the family felt united, not by suspicion, but by shared pain and the hope of healing. Evelyn's war was over, and the family faced a choice: remain broken or begin to mend. As the rain outside finally stopped, a sliver of sunlight broke through the clouds, casting a gentle glow over the old house. It felt like a sign, a chance for a new beginning. In the days that followed, the Harper family gathered again not to fight, but to heal. They shared stories of Evelyn's better days, laughed over old photos, and let themselves grieve together. David worked to make amends, and the others, though cautious, began to forgive. The old house on Maple Lane felt lighter, as if Evelyn's spirit had finally found peace. The family understood that while the past could not be changed, the future was theirs to shape. Together, they vowed to end the cycle of suspicion and start anew, honoring Evelyn's memory not with war, but with love and forgiveness. As they left the house, the family felt a sense of hope, knowing that the wounds of the past could finally begin to heal, and that Evelyn's legacy would be one of unity, not division.